Thanks for joining us for the ABC Tri-Cities special presentation, Hidden History, a celebration of Black History Month. I'm Febin Cassahoon. During tonight's broadcast, we will introduce to you some of the people known for sparking change in our community. And we will take you to places across our region where decades of Black history are preserved. We begin by paying tribute to a man who served as a religious, educational, and community leader. Reverend CHARLTON passed away last month. He helped shape the spiritual lives of those at Friendship Baptist Church. He molded young minds at Northeast State Community College and made history as Johnson City's first Black mayor. His mission was to improve the community for everyone. A retired Johnson City Reverend, beloved by many for his devotion to servanthood.
God is in charge. He loves us. He cares for us. And when you see that, and you see how he works in your life, and it's miraculous.
The former Johnson City Vice Mayor retired in 2019 after leading Friendship Baptist Church for 42 years.
They were caring people.
People in Johnson City were caring people. We really never had a problem.
His love for people led him to mentor young people. His love for people led him to preach the gospel.
The late Reverend CHARLTON exemplified what it meant to practice what you preach.
The key thing is to get a commitment in God. Know that God can. And when you do that, you'll see a difference.
When he stepped down and retired as pastor of this church, and I started pastoring and preaching here Sundays, I would watch him because he was no longer sitting in the pulpit because he was not able to, but he was sitting on the front row. So every Sunday or every time we had an opportunity for worship, he was always the one that I was looking at.
Charlton's involvement in the community was known to be stellar.
He had a mission, I think, of trying to help everyone, especially people in his community, the church and so forth in Carver. He's made a big difference.
And Pete PADUCH says Reverend Charlton was known to be a class act, even when members of the city commission seemed to disagree often.
Dr. King kept saying love. Love. Love your fellow man.
He also worked alongside Tennessee Congressman Phil Rowe.
The thing I liked about working with Rev was that he was able to listen to both sides and then make a judged decision based on what he thought was best.
The iconic figure strived to elevate the community and made history in the process.
He served as the vice mayor for the city of Johnson City, the first African American who actually had that title as vice mayor for the city of Johnson City.
Today we remember the man who had a genuine love for his community.
He will be missed in this great community. There is a hole in this community that cannot be filled by anyone else but Dr. CHARLTON.
Another place you would always see Reverend Charlton, the annual Johnson City Turkey Trot. He presented the prayer during opening ceremonies for the past 14 years. You can see the prayer from Thanksgiving morning 2019 on our website, WJHL.com. A woman who helped pave the way in the aerospace field passed away this week. NASA announced Black mathematician Katherine Johnson died Monday morning. She worked on NASA's early space missions and was portrayed in the film Hidden Figures, which was about Black female aerospace workers. NASA said it celebrates her 101 years of life and her legacy of excellence in breaking down racial and social barriers. Johnson was one of the so-called computers who calculated rocket trajectories and Earth orbits by hand during NASA's early years. Until 1958, Johnson and other Black women worked in a racially segregated computing unit at what is now called Langley Research Center in Hampton, Virginia. She began her career in education in Marion, Virginia as a mathematics teacher at the Carnegie School. Over in Bristol, Virginia, a 155-year-old church served as the hub for the Black community during segregation. It bears a new name since its creation in 1865 and has a pastor who has led the congregation for nearly 6 decades. After 155 years, hymns of praise continue to ring through Lee Street Baptist Church. The man in the pulpit has led the congregation for decades. Meet Dr. W.A. Johnson.
It was in '61 when I came here from Virginia University in Richmond after 7 years of training.
In his 59 years as pastor, the spiritual leader has become influential in the city of Bristol, across our region, and in the state of Virginia. The street alongside the church even bears his name.
Still the strongest church in the area. Great church, great people. I would say a great pastor, but I'll let somebody else say that.
He's part of not only the church family, but each individual person in the congregation.
The place of worship was created after slavery was abolished in 1865, initially called the Anglo-African Baptist Church.
It was started by slaves, ex-slaves. When they were set free in 1865, first thing they did was got the church. They had to have a church. They had to have schools for their children. They had to, they were on their own.
It was originally located in the downtown area, but Dr. Johnson decided to change its location.
It's one little church sitting there on the street and no parking. They had about 300 members.
The church and its pastor cherishes another piece of its ministry, the gospel choir, using their God-given talent for the glory of God.
The choir that was one of the famous choirs in the area.
When your pastor brings forth the word, you have to carry yourself in the way God wants you to be.
President of the gospel choir, Geneva Brown, has been part of the Lee Street Choir since she was 5.
This is my family church. It's known as the Greater Lee Street Baptist Church, and it has been that.
Reaching people and touching lives.
Things are good. Things are strong.
Lee Street Baptist Church is located at 1 West Mary Street in Bristol, Virginia. Sunday worship services are at 11 a.m. and for more information about other worship opportunities and activities at Lee Street Baptist, call the number on your screen. A building in Tennessee's oldest towns holds decades of Black history. During times of segregation, it served as Jonesborough's African American elementary school. The building that once separated people now is a place where people come together. Now it's a place where you can enhance your knowledge of the arts. After the break, we take you to the McKinney Center and introduce you to the family behind its name. You're watching Tri-Cities Hidden History, honoring Black History Month on ABC Tri-Cities. This evening, we're honoring Black History Month with an ABC Tri-Cities special presentation, Tri-Cities Hidden History. I'm Febin Casahoon. School segregation was outlawed in 1954, opening the door for all children to learn together. The history of Jonesborough's African American elementary school remains alive through a place where everyone is welcome. Ashley Sharp takes us to the McKinney Center.
Inside these halls are decades of history preserved.
When it was built, I came up here in the 5th grade. There were 8 grades, and we had 4 grades in each room, and one room then was the cafeteria.
The McKinney Center today was once Booker T. Washington, Jonesborough's African American elementary school during segregation.
These kids got here at 6:30 in the morning. That was because the bus driver, he had to bring them early, so he would then have time to go and pick up the white kids on time.
For Marion McKinney, her roots at the school are deep.
That's my mother right there.
Marion says during her childhood, Jonesboro was a place of inclusion and community, black or white, even though the schools didn't reflect it.
We couldn't go to school because it was a law. But there was no law that said we could not play together, sleep together, eat together, do whatever, you know. So we did that, and when school was out, that's the way it was.
But today, what once was a school for few is now a place for all.
The building that once separated people now is a place where people come together.
It was reopened in 2012 as the McKinney Center, now home to more than 50 courses in the arts, like ceramics, theater, drawing, and dancing. Its namesake, the McKinney family. Marion's husband, Ernest, was a principal of the school.
Ernest was a great child supporter. He loved children.
He went on to become Jonesborough's first black alderman, the very day that Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated on the other side of the state.
For him to be an alderman in our community during that time wasn't common. And I think that talks to how well he was thought of and how well the family was thought of.
It's a family legacy that lasts through time. Kevin McKinney, Marion and Ernest's son, was Jonesborough's first black mayor. Their name now marking a gathering place for children and adults to celebrate community and the importance of the arts.
We don't think we're going to create Picassos or people that are going to go out and make millions of dollars doing an art form. But we do know that we're going to make good, well-rounded citizens.
The McKinney Center offers classes for all ages through the Mary B. Martin Program for the Arts. It's located at 103 Franklin Avenue in Jonesboro. For classes and registration information, call the McKinney Center at the number on your screen. Established in 1893, Johnson City's African American High School sat on the corner of Myrtle Avenue and Elm Street. It served as the black high school until court-ordered desegregation of the Johnson City school system took place in 1965. The high school sat unused, becoming an eyesore in the community. Johnson City leaders transformed the historic high school into a multicultural learning center. And now the LANGSTON Center serves as a bridge from the past to an unlimited future for the entire community.
This will keep the love of LANGSTON, what LANGSTON meant to the community.
Graduating in 1965, Michael Young is part of the last graduating class of LANGSTON High School.
Through no full measure of my own, I am the last official graduate of LANGSTON High School. My last name is Young.
For more than 70 years, African American students in Johnson City attended the high school.
The school was, in a word, a family. The academics was outstanding. The athletics at LANGSTON, it was phenomenal. Our coaches were great. Our teachers were just made you understand that you were valuable and that you could be and do whatever you wanted to be.
He notes the basketball team was impeccable.
If it was basketball season and you didn't play basketball, you made sure you was at the school to cheer the team and enjoy the camaraderie of the people that you went to school with.
But his fondest memory was when the high school band played on football nights.
There are people now who still talk about LANGSTON's marching band. They used to march from right there on football nights, home games. The band would march from here to Roan Street, and then they would get it on.
For segregated life, the school, along with the church, were hubs of learning, hubs of encouragement, empowerment.
More than 50 years after its closing, Johnson City leaders gave the historic campus new life, renovating it into a center for multicultural programming focused on education and arts development.
One of the first things that the center has done is that we've adopted the motto of Langston High School. We want to enter to learn, and we want to depart to serve.
Adam Dixon hopes to empower future generations. For alumni like Young, the center also allows others to learn the stories of those who have since passed.
All you have to do is walk the halls and you can feel it. You can feel the teachers, you can feel the students, you can feel the love, you can feel what Langston was.
97-year-old Thelma Norris of Johnson City remembers Langston High. She attended a segregated high school in Elizabethton. She graduated from segregated colleges and taught elementary school and on and off for more than 2 decades. Now, in all black schools, that is. Norris found herself teaching in Johnson City when the school system integrated in 1966. She was paired with another educator to manage the coming changes. Even though they did not see eye to eye, they became good friends.
She told me that she was not for integration, but that she would do everything in her power to see that everything went well. And she did. She and I became good friends. And she said we can help each other. And we did.
We asked Norris how she thinks Americans can move forward in race relations, and her answer: we have to love each other and respect each other. Now, Thelma Norris shares more of her experiences in education and thoughts on race and culture in a special report by Jeff Keeling on WJHL.com. You're watching Tri-Cities Hidden History, honoring Black History Month on ABC Tri-Cities. You're watching Tri-Cities Hidden History, an ABC Tri-Cities Black History Month special presentation. I'm Febin Cassoon. During segregation, blacks and whites could not be buried on the same soil. West Lawn Cemetery was created as the burial site of African Americans in Johnson City. The 6-acre property on Lowell Street is now one of the city's historical sites.
It's not just for Black History Month, but it's for the history of the city of Johnson City.
Many of Johnson City's lifelong African American service members are buried at West Lawn Cemetery.
There's so many in our community that are here that I remember growing up. He actually lived across the street from me.
Lisa Black is on the cemetery's committee. She wants the historic site to represent a place of reverence.
It's a sacred burial ground.
She fears community members have little respect for the cemetery.
About 6 weeks ago, we came out and I visit regularly and many other persons do. We found that a dump truck had backed up to this part of the property and had actually dumped building materials. It was cinder blocks. It looked like it was car parts.
The cemetery was also vandalized in 2017, leaving several headstones turned over, and the culprit hasn't come forward.
And it was very hurtful, to say the least.
The committee is actively working to restore the rest of the burial site.
It's almost like the community has just encroached on the property, and that the relevance of that we're not significant. And I want to bring the light that we are.
It's personal to Black because both of her parents plus other family members are buried in the historically Black cemetery.
The Culberson family, which my mother was Shelby Culberson Callahan, and the Callahan Ray family is here.
Formerly a place for African Americans, the 6-acre lot is open to the general public.
We have all nationalities buried out there. It's very, very affordable.
It's ironic to me as we know that our bodies return to dust, that the dust does not signify a color of your skin or a color of your body while you're living.
In November 2019, U.S. Senators Lamar Alexander of Tennessee and Sherrod Brown of Ohio introduced legislation to create a nationwide network of African American burial sites. The African American Burial Site Ground Network Act calls for federal assistance to ensure preservation and maintenance of the sites for future generations. Well, if you have not yet taken part in Black History Month celebrations, it's not too late. We reveal some events happening this week after the break on Tri-Cities Hidden History, honoring Black History Month. I'm Bevin Cassu, and you're watching Tri-Cities Hidden History, honoring Black History Month. Even though we're nearing the end of February, you're not too late to observe Black History Month. Tomorrow, you're invited to a celebration that's sure to tantalize your taste buds. Carver Recreation Center on West Watauga Avenue in Johnson City will host its annual Taste of the Community from 6 until 8. You will have the opportunity to sample a variety of foods prepared by local Black businesses. Admission is $5. And later this week, Langston Education, Arts and Development will bring Unbroken to the stage at the Langston Center in Johnson City. We caught up with members of the cast as they prepare for their performance. They say Unbroken brings history to life for younger generations. The production was written by Johnson City native Faye Ellis.
It's a thing that I think some of our children have lost the history, and we're trying to get it back out, letting them know what happened, so they'll work trying to not let it happen again. It's just a great group of people that we're working with here.
Unbroken opens Friday at 7 p.m. at the Langston Center in Johnson City. Another performance is set for Saturday at 5 p.m. You can call the number on your screen for ticket information. Well, thanks for joining us for this special presentation, Tri-Cities Hidden History honoring Black History Month. We hope you have a great evening.